a second.
Okay. Will you talk with us?
Sure, yeah. Well, give me a second.
All right. All right, we're here. Let me see if we can get Danny Turner. Danny, kind of breaking news. I understand you put up the motion to help Mr. Jones with his job situation.
I put up a motion. We have,
Next Tuesday, right?
but next Tuesday, I will make a motion that we codify the policy where a city employee cannot run for city council and serve on city council, and with the exception of Mr. Jones, because he had started the process before we made the change to the handbook, the employee handbook. So it's not fair. It's I kind of compare it to the city of Martinsville going into reversion and get all the way down to the finish line, and the rules change. The same thing with.
Were you a little outraged by that?
I seen it was something that we needed to do. I think it's probably a bad decision. If I'd worked for the city, especially at the police department, I wouldn't have considered running for city council. Number one, how do you get people to sign your petitions without a little bit of intimidation? How do you ask people for money to help run your campaign? It's a bad precedent. This would be the only exception, is that Mr. Jones, because he had started his petition drive and it wasn't part of the handbook at the time he filed his petitions.
At the end of the meeting, you said it's always a good time to get together. Of course, I know you know about one more debate that Bill Wyatt wants to conduct at Star News. Are you willing to come to that?
Well, let me think about it and see the time. I haven't got the details at the time that Bill had talked to me about
You
it.
seem to be making ground during these forums.
I don't know about all that, but I know that Bill had some parameters, and nothing was in concrete at the time. So we'll see. And of course, important is when you have it. Right. So we'll look at it.
All right. What do you think's the top issue? I mean, that's going on right now. People still talking about reversion and so forth. But there's more issues than reversion, right?
Oh, that's what I was talking about. Like I said, the housing summit that I held, and we took the state officials, the federal officials around. We looked at some housing, and they were absolutely shocked. You're not tearing that house down. What's it doing on the demo list? Well, it needs some attention, and they've got programs that we've been overlooking. So, like I said, we've been leaving money on the table. I want to make sure. I brought the congressman over. We looked it up.
Let me get Jennifer real quick. Hey,
Okay.
Thanks for talking with us.
Sure.
We got Aaron and Jennifer here. Jennifer says she will talk with us. So we'll wait here to talk to Jennifer. And she's talking with constituents. We got Aaron Rawls. All right, you will be back? We don't know. We've been having a hard time communicating with Jennifer the last 9 days. And she says she'll be back. So let's just should be a lady of her word. We're here. We're at the end of the debate. We have Aaron Rawls and so forth. I want to see if I can buzz with him in just a second.
Thank you so much for coming.
Aaron, how you like coming out to these things?
This is actually really fun. This is the part, it's funny. The things I thought I would dread, like knocking on doors, because I'm introverted and I can sense the energy of bothering people when I go to their home, or coming to these big public things, I thought that those were the things that would be hard about this. And it turns out they're the things I actually really enjoy. Like talking about issues is what I love. I've done it for fun for years. Right. I've tried to do it professionally with the city and offer them some guidance for years. So it's just been naturally fun to me.
We got a hot topic because Danny says he's going to put a motion up on this L.C. Jones issue where they'll grandfather in because it was changed in the middle of the game. How do you feel about that?
Sounds good to me.
What
LC.
would you do if you were on city council right now?
I don't know how that rule came to be, so I want to be really careful speaking about it. It does feel to me like the change was very convenient for folks in the city who'd like to maybe retain their current government based on the timing.
That's fishy.
It does. Well, the government's been around for a long time, and we haven't had a provision like this up until now, so why now? But because I don't know how it truly came about, I want to be careful. I certainly understand why people would look at it and be like, this doesn't feel right. And all I know is, having met LC, I've come to really respect his intelligence, his integrity. He comes at things from such a different place from me, and being a solution man myself, you want as many perspectives as different from yours as you can possibly get. So I'm extremely excited by the prospect of him winning so that I can work with him. So I like the idea of Danny putting up that motion just so I can work with LC, hopefully.
Chad Martin says he will second it, and Tammy Pearson says there'll be a third. So it looks like there's about 3 magic votes you need.
All right. I don't know all the proceedings, like if council can override city management. I know that they govern the manager, but that'd be an interesting thing to find out.
Right. We're now 10 days and trying to talk to Jennifer Bowles, and she says she's going to talk to us. But sometimes you say that's a problem, right? Talking to Jennifer? And you had some problems?
Talking with her?
Or calling her, getting her to call you back?
Yeah, historically, I think that's a relatively common thing. But in your case, I think she just doesn't want to go on what might be a hostile environment where she has to answer her record.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you bet. Have a good night.
All right. So here comes Jennifer again. We'll see if she'll talk with us. There's Tammy Pearson and Jennifer Bowles right now. Sometimes they're at odds at city council meetings and so forth. Now they're pretty chummy, happy. But Jennifer says she's going to talk to us. Let's just see how this breaks out. It's been an interesting forum tonight. We've had several questions, and each one has gone to the podium and spoke. And Jennifer is still here and campaigning and so forth, shaking hands and doing some last-minute campaigning. She says she will talk to us, so we're going to wait and just see how this plays out. But at least she did come back in the room. We have been waiting about 10 days to talk with Ms. Bowles. We've called her every other day. We've texted her, and she's every forum I've covered, she says that she is available to constituents. So not only am I a constituent, I'm also a reporter, and I want to get some things answered. We're going to talk to her about, will she come to a debate we have scheduled for next week. I know she at least knows a little bit about it. And then we're also going to ask her about the L.C. Jones. That's be our first question. We'll ask Ms. Bowles, because she could be a defining vote next Tuesday night, because the way we understand it, Danny Turner is going to put a motion up to grandfather the situation with the L.C. Jones. Of course, the L.C. Jones has been told he's either going to have to do the city council job, or he's going to have to be the cop or work for the school system as a cop. And it looks like Danny says that was changed in the middle of the game, and that should be reversed. So Danny's going to put that motion up. We know Tammy Pearson's already said she would second it. Chad Martin is now saying that he would also at least second it. That doesn't mean he'd vote for it. We'll have to wait Tuesday to see how this breaks down, but then we're going to ask Jennifer Bowles. She will be a part of that as well. But right now, it's the end. They can see BTW Chad Hall with 2 tripods, not 1. But he's there. And Lisa's been here, putting it together. Chambers done a fantastic job putting all this together like they always do. One thing you got to love about Lisa, she listens. That's one thing I always admire. She's getting ready for Winterfest coming December the 3rd. That's right. That's the next big chamber event you want to attend. So that's something going on after the election. And we've got Christmas parades coming up November the 19th at 5 o'clock as all things get going. But we're waiting to speak to Jennifer. She's there, and we hope they give us a few minutes just to have a few last-minute discussions. But Jennifer says she will speak to us. And we'll try to get those 2 questions in with her. And Danny Turner was very cordial with us tonight. It's Tim Martin of Uptown, the showroom, and so he's got a lot of properties in Uptown Martinsville. So we're still waiting. To speak to Jennifer. I think it's important that we get all the viewpoints while we can before the election. But Jennifer says she will give us a few minutes here in just a second. Let's see if we can. Jennifer. All right.
So I just want to be straightforward and just talk to the citizens. Charles, I'm really not sure if I can, trust you to not do misinformation or to not bash me or anything of that nature. So I want to just talk directly to the citizens. I know, Charles, that you've been attacking me constantly on your show.
How?
And I just want to say that I know that Tammy Pearson pays for your advertising. You meet with her every week. I get that. You're a business. You're an entity. I know she's friends with Aaron Rawls. I know she wants LC to be elected. I know when you're a business, you have to do certain things. But, Charles, I thought we were building and growing on our relationship, and I felt very disrespected when you FaceTime me at 10:30 at night. It sent me.
That was a mistake. I'm sorry.
You should have sent me a text and let me know it was a mistake.
I didn't know it happened. I didn't know it happened.
I really feel super disrespected when things like that happen, and I try my best to be professional. So, Charles, if it's anything you want from me, you can send me an email message like everyone else.
But you hadn't responded.
Sent me an email message because I'm not responding to anyone who disrespects me. Once you break that boundary, that's something I just can't deal with. And Charles, I just can't trust that you're going to do all the information. It seems like you do things just to make myself look bad. I don't see you questioning. Oh, and also another thing is Deborah Buchanan works for your station, so I'm a little concerned that you're going to fairly give the news when you have somebody from the county working for you.
The last interview I did, you said I handle it fairly.
You have somebody at
The last show I did, you said I handle it fairly.
I'm really concerned that you have somebody on council who's paying you, who wants Aaron and LC to win, and everybody has their choice, but when they're paying you,
Tammy
you're gonna
buys advertising in the Martinsville Bulletin.
Another thing I want to say is when you have Deborah Buchanan working for Community County, I don't see you asking the Henry County residents, like, are you mad at Henry County that they didn't want to come to the table with the city when we've been talking about reversion since the 70s? The Henry County residents should be mad at the Board of Supervisors that they don't want to have conversations with us. So, Charles, if you want to talk to me, send me an email like every other media professional.
So, Bill White
and
would
I'll
like to
chat with
conduct a
you.
debate with you next week at Star News.
Oh, and another thing, I didn't know Bill White's son worked for you. So it's just like everybody, I think everybody should do
It's a
it.
small community.
I think everybody should be able to do what they want to, but it's hard to feel like you're getting a fair shake and a fair shot. And I just don't want to give you any more just attack bait at me. So if anybody wants to talk to me, feel free to call me. You can call me at my number. You can come see me where I live in Charles.
Let me try one more news question. LC Jones issue. It's gonna be, Danny says he's bringing it up Tuesday. Will you be in favor of giving LC the grandfather on that ruling?
I don't see how LC can be working at the city, and then he works for the chief, and then the city manager. So the chain of command would be LC reports to the chief reports to the city manager, and then if LC's on council, he's going to be over top of everybody, regardless of if it's LC. I don't have issue with LC. He and I are cordial. We're fine, but taking it about, is that the best business of the city, to have somebody who works under everybody to then be their boss? I don't know, but I don't even know if Danny's going to bring it up. He said he was, but we don't know. But
All right, thank you, Jennifer. All right, Jennifer did give us a discussion there. She says our environment's hostile, but anyway, we did give her a chance to speak, and you saw it here on Star News.